Stop giving this your hard-earned money. Mr. Frosted Tips here has just now managed to take advantage of everyone. And I'm extra pissed because I defended Philip Defranco when he launched that Patreon. I went to great lengths to say that that was a good thing to do. But now with this BetterHelp situation, it's just gotten worse and worse, and it's just over. And I've had to record this video 5 times now because every time I do, something new gets added to the case. For the record, I'm recording this video after Philip Defranco just uploaded his whole explanation video. And I gotta say, oh my God, Philip Defranco has just exposed himself way more than he would have ever done if he just shut his mouth. Before we get into the BetterHelp situation, I need to explain Philip Defranco's whole history because everyone seems to have forgotten that Philip Defranco kinda has a scumbaggy history. And I mean scumbaggy towards the audience and towards his just overall attitude on YouTube. Philip Defranco was one of the most clickbaity people on YouTube. He somehow manages to bullshit his way up to the point where YouTube is actually taking an interest in his channel. And YouTube, being acquired by Google or not knowing what they're supposed to be doing, trying to find their foothold in the landscape, launches the YouTuber Initiative, the Original Creator Initiative, where they gave 10 creators $100 million to create unique and original programming. And that's what spawned SourceFed, which everyone seems to completely forgotten that existed. Philip Defranco was given anywhere between $1 to $10 million to launch this channel. And what people seem to have also forgotten about that was that Philip Defranco sold that off. He took his channel that he was specifically funded by YouTube and then sold it off to Discovery to make even more money from that, and he potentially, we don't know the exact details or if this is true, but he possibly sold off his Philip Defranco channel too, and then had buyer remorse and had to buy back the rights to his own frickin' channel. And if I'm not mistaken, that was roughly about the time where he started taking other people's monies to do that. You guys need to realize that Philip Defranco was making about $300,000 a month at least. And if I'm getting anything wrong in this video, or you want another video explaining where I'm getting those numbers, leave it in the comments down below. Throw your hate message down there. I will respond to every comment. I will make an entire video explaining where those numbers come from. But it's just insane that you could be given $10 million potentially from YouTube to create an original YouTube channel, launch the show, and the second that you start seeing a dip in profits or not really seeing the type of growth, you then sell your own channel to somebody else and double dip into that pool of money. And he couldn't even save it, man. That was kind of sucky and pathetic. So now we've discovered here that Philip Defranco has became filthy rich from getting YouTube to help fund his original series, which in turn helped propel his own clickbaity career forward. And what happens in that process is Philip Defranco notices, Keemstar's actually got a pretty good algorithm here. He seems to have it figured out, where people really like drama. They like the fact that people are fighting with one another on the internet, and people want to hear about that. It's like the new gossip. People like internet drama. So we go from Philip Defranco being the clickbait king and the sexy girl of the day or whatever, to the talking about YouTubers and other Instagram and Twitter people beefing back and forth. And now we find him, in my opinion, doing good stuff where he's covering a wide spectrum of stuff. But you never notice the fact that nobody ever seems to criticize Phil Defranco. Like, nobody ever seems to bring up the fact that he kind of gamed his whole way up to the top and then changed everything he did to basically be like, oh no, you can't criticize me, I've changed, we've all changed, look at me, I'm doing important things. Bro, you kind of just manipulated the system, took big ass deals, and then spat in the face of the people who support you. And what I specifically mean by that is by the sponsor deals, which we will get into in a minute. So now we notice that Defranco's starting to kind of move around. He's not really talking a lot, but he seems to be doing a lot of business deals. And this is what makes me not believe about half of what he says about the BetterHelp stuff. And in one of these business deals, he now starts promoting FanDuel, DraftKings, whichever one it is, which is it's just a gambling app. Like, you have YouTubers now who apparently think it's fine to promote gambling, and Defranco just seems to have no problem being like, oh, it's fantasy football. It's gambling. The reason that these things aren't considered gambling is because they have billions of dollars to spend telling Congress that it ain't. But that's another video for another time. We're not going to get in that. So now we have lying to your own audience and straight up taking gambling. Anything else? Oh, another form of gambling, cryptocurrency. Nobody seemed to notice, but Philip Defranco seemed to have a little bit of an interesting tie to YouNow. Phil met with the CEO of YouNow to discuss creating cryptocurrency opportunities. So on top of promoting gambling apps and fantasy football, he now wants to dabble into the cryptocurrency market. Why do you think he was promoting so heavily the frickin' Coinbase stuff, the trading, the referral links, like, oh hey, we've been doing cryptocurrency trades with your Patreon money. So now out comes the Patreon, the fucking Defranco elite. I'm starting my own news network. Oh wait, no, I'm sorry. Entertainment network. Because apparently you can make false promises to tell people that you want to become a new mainstream source of media and just completely take people's money and lie about that. Where's the podcast, Phil? Where's this book club? I'm not a member of Defranco Elite. I don't unfortunately subscribe to that scam, but for the most part, I haven't heard anything about book club lately. Podcast barely comes out. Where are the updates, Phil? Because Philip Defranco has taken your money, your hard-earned money that you spent with the intention of getting something like a news network. He just took it, saying, I'm creating my own news network. We're gonna do more stories. We're gonna have live reporters. We're gonna have journalists. This is gonna be a thing, guys. And now it's nowhere to be seen. There's no website. There's no update. Though they changed the news network, it's no longer a news network, it's an entertainment network. And I guess an entertainment network means an app where you provide the entertainment. Phil Defranco goes to New York to meet up with the CEO and the founders of YouNow because he wants to invest in a possible cryptocurrency. And I'm willing to bet, I don't have the sources to prove this, so please take this with a grain of salt, that in the process of this little bullshit scheme that he plotted out, he might have also wanted to invest in YouNow. And guess what? He did that with your Patreon money, with those donations that you gave him, with the stream money you gave him. So Defranco promotes a gambling app on fantasy football, takes your Patreon money to then go and fund a cryptocurrency that he wants to launch. And this is really what makes me make this video. I cannot fathom the balls it takes to take $10 million from YouTube, walk away with it, sell your network to Discovery to then pay to promote your own channel, to take money from gambling apps and mental health apps, which we will get into later, and then to promote that shit to underage youths and other people of the sort who have that mental problem, meaning gambling and depression, not just one or the other, and then takes your Patreon money, which you donated with the intention of getting more content, a news network, like a whole plethora of things, and makes an app. Boy, I gotta tell you, that's a fucking expensive $2 million app, all right. Oh, and let's not forget his scummy merchandise practices. You gotta buy now, guys. There's only a limited supply. We're just doing the sale for 2 days, so you gotta buy now, even though I'll bring it back in 3 months, but you buy now because you might not get it. It's on a limited run. Use the promo code STUPID to get 5% off, you stupid fuck. You people are practically throwing me money at this point. Now, I'm gonna let you in a little secret here. Not many YouTubers like to talk about it, especially the big ones. Merchandise brings in a lot of money, especially limited run sales on Teespring. Because ask any YouTuber, ask any big YouTuber, and they're doing a Q&A, ask them, how much money do you make from these websites that do these limited run merch sales? They're making at minimum a $10 profit per shirt they sell. And when we have news and information about Logan Paul making about at least $10 million in merchandising sales every single month, what do you think Defranco's pulling in? No, guys, keep giving him your Patreon money. He really needs it for that entertainment network. I'm getting fucking angry just thinking about it. And so, let's get into the meat and bones now, because, I mean, if that alone isn't enough to tell you that Defranco doesn't give a shit about you and he only is motivated by money, we're gonna get into the BetterHelp thing. And for the two of you who don't know the situation, I'm not even gonna explain it, just go look it up. It takes 5 minutes, go look it up. But I'm recording this after he just made his response video on Monday. And I gotta say, he just lied in front of everybody. Now, as we just talked about with him and YouNow, he has a vested interest. He admitted it. And I wouldn't make a claim like this because I could get sued for something like this because it is a provable claim because he stated it. Philip Defranco said, I am not an affiliate, a partner, or I don't have an investment, or I'm not an investor in this company. However, Rogue Rocket, as he just said in the video, has a vested interest. His little shell company, he just lied to everyone. He literally says in the video, we will facilitate transaction deals between other creators. We help to make the Shane Dawson BetterHelp sponsorship a thing. And as part of negotiating that, we get a kickback for selling that. I'm gonna let you in a little secret here. That's called having a vested interest. I've done this before. Part of what I've done for the podcasters I work with is I help them sell advertisers for their podcast, and I make a small percentage of that. So I have a vested interest in these podcasts. I have a vested interest in these businesses because that's how I profit from it. But Defranco's shielding this, the reason he can make that claim is because it's not him doing that, it's Rogue Rocket doing this. And that alone, I'm like, he just kind of told the truth to himself, and I'm pretty sure, I'm not 100% on this one, that kind of violates the FTC guidelines. So at this point, I'm just waiting for him to bring his dog onto camera and say, guys, I found this new website, it's amazing. Like, he makes a response video and addresses the weakest, most useless points and leaves the important shit just out in the open. Phil, if by some miracle is watching, what the fuck kind of use is it for you and this no-name fucking reporter to go to the headquarters? You appear to be giving them all the time in the world to get them all ready so that they can be ready for this interview. If you wanted to really actually make a difference and actually try to prove to people that you actually don't want to work with this company in their current status, you would suspend your campaign because those links still work in the description. And then on top of that, what use is going to the office? It's an online business. Oh, sure, you can sit with some talking heads and talk about the business and how it works, but at the end of the day, the counselors are the people who remote access into the app and provide people this help that they need. So again, I reiterate, what's the fucking point of going to the office? I get it. I really do. I get why people are gonna be like jumping to help and be like, oh no, he's a good guy. He's not. He's scammed people, he's promoted gambling to people. He and many other YouTubers have promoting mental manipulation as part of marketing for this app. And I don't care what anybody says, it's the truth. If somebody's saying specific words to get you to resonate with something, they are emotionally trying to manipulate you. And these BetterHelp ads are emotional manipulation to convince you to use it. And if you don't need the help, you don't need the help. And if you do need the help, you need to be able to seek the help the way that the professionals do, because BetterHelp can't provide that for you. It shouldn't be called a counselor service because it's not. So what this is really like is like some paid, you're in the same room with this guy who's going for psychology and you just need somebody to talk to service. Because they even say it themselves, and they're not gonna change in the TOS either, is that if they think you need actual help, they're gonna tell you to go somewhere to get real help. And my biggest hang up too is that it never once addressed what Colossal said in the Baited podcast. For the 4 of you who don't know what I'm talking about, Colossal said in the Baited podcast that he has a source, an anonymous source, who applied to be a counselor, used a fake resume and fake credentials. He got accepted to be a counselor on BetterHelp. How is BetterHelp gonna answer that? They say they handle the vetting, but they can't prove it. So I'm gonna leave you off with this and say, Philip Defranco's not a good guy. And if you think I got anything wrong in this video, leave it in the comments down below. And if you want to know how I came up with that $300,000 mark number, I will make an entire video explaining every dollar that Philip Defranco makes and the fact that you shouldn't be giving him a nickel of your money anymore.